Well, a great story came out of this whole thing where I don't know if you follow the story with Theo, this guy in this French person who basically bet $80 million or made
I
a
did
net
hear
profit of
about
eighty
this.
million
Yeah.
dollars. I thought that was pretty cool. This idea here, I just want to touch on it real quick. I'll read the snippet. So, to solve this problem, Theo argued that pollsters should use what are known as neighbor polls that ask respondents which candidates they expect their neighbors to support. The idea is that people might not want to reveal their own preferences, but will indirectly reveal them when asked to guess who their neighbors plan to vote for. Theo cited a handful of publicly released polls conducted in September using the neighbor method, along with traditional methods. These polls showed Harris's support was several percentage points lower when respondents were asked who their neighbors would vote for, compared with the results that came from directly asking which candidate they supported. As Theo celebrated the returns on election night, he disclosed another piece of the analysis behind the successful wager. In an email, he told the journal that he had commissioned his own surveys to measure the neighbor effect using a major pollster whom he declined to name. The results, he wrote, were mind blowing in favor of Trump. Theo declined to share those surveys, saying his agreement with the pollsters required him to keep the results private. But he argued that U.S. pollsters should use the neighbor method in future surveys to avoid another embarrassing miss. Public opinion would have been better prepared if the latest polls had measured that neighbor effect, Theo said. I wanted to bring this up because if there's anything that I love, is people using markets as a source of information. I
Yes.
remember getting into the stock markets or even the crypto markets, well, more the stock market, being able to get an accurate read on what's going on in the economy and what decisions to be made for a certain industry or business, like it was really useful. Putting together an index of warehousing stocks and track and see, hey, if the warehousing stocks are going up or down, that to me was a lead indicator as to what the economy might do in my area.
Mhm.
If what's going on with interest rates or with currencies, let me know. Hey, should I quit my job or should I not quit my job? Should I err on the side of job security or should I be jumping into to start a new business? Blah blah blah. And when you talk to regular people, civilians, who don't have the vernacular of the markets, don't know how to reference these things, it's almost like you can see more of the present or the future than they can. I don't know if you ever feel this the sense like someone will say something, you'll be like, well, gold doesn't support what you're saying. They're like, what are you talking about? Oh, well, gold's at 2300, so that's supporting what you're saying. And they have no idea. And so the idea here, this cross where the betting markets are used in any way as a way of determining what the country might be feeling because of this election or anything that the betting markets are paying attention to, I really, really love because then more and more people, I hope, will pick up that routine of using actual information as opposed to guessing or their feeling on making accurate decisions and forming their opinions.
Yeah, I think I'm also really impressed with the way that he reformed the strategy to collect information because people are more forthcoming about others than they are about their own opinions. And I think he really tapped into a fantastic aspect of social science there that we should lean into. It's like I remember learning a lot long ago as a kid. You don't really ask people for advice; you ask for their opinion, because people are more forthcoming with their opinions rather than having to structure advice. They end up overthinking their response. They end up trying to tailor their response to you and your exact situation. But if I just grab your opinion, you're usually more transparent about where you actually sit with things. So little things like that, little tricks like that tend to get people to actually give you more honest answers. So it was brilliant use of a social signal in order to support a fairly large bet.
And just as much as I like this story, I like the comments underneath it where people go, that's a poor way of doing a poll. And the answer is sort of like, well, he made $80 million. So,
Wait, no, he placed an $80 million bet.
well, he netted, I don't know all the details. I know he netted $80 million, but he had placed, I think it even, I don't know. I don't know what amount he put on, but he would
Yeah,
have
yeah.
lost a substantial amount of his personal wealth. But
Oof.
he just decided to do it. And so it's like anybody in markets long enough knows who cares if what you think is right or not. Did you make money off of it? And if you
Yeah,
made
yeah.
money off of it, you were right. And so I just
He
absolutely love
deserves
that.
every bit of it for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.